All right.
Yeah.
War baby.
Fingers crossed.
From Murderous Minors, Killer Kids podcast. How you been?
I'm great, guys. How are you?
Good. I listened to your most recent show too, and you've definitely improved. Like it's a lot better. Like not that it was bad before, but your telling of the stories is amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you so much. I've really been working on it. And I'm just trying to get better, improve that listening experience for everybody.
I think when we last talked to you, you had just started.
Yeah, I probably only had a couple episodes out, and I'm up to, I think, I'm about to release 20.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome. How often do you put them out?
I try for twice a month.
Cool. Is it a lot of work going into, like, studying those cases and all?
Well, mostly, most of the work comes down to when I'm writing the script, just because I like to be really thorough with the details.
Yeah.
And I'm not really here for, like, shock value. I'm not really trying to deliver anything like that. It's more like just trying to educate people about the crazy things that can happen when you're not paying attention.
You're just telling the story, and I love that you have clips, like news clips, like all that stuff in there. It's really good.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff to put in there, usually a lot of good details. So it makes it so I don't have to really focus too much on the gorier, more frightening aspects, because just the fact that it's kids doing these things makes it scary enough. Like, I don't really need to highlight anything else about it.
Is there any reason in particular you picked that subject as for your podcast, or was it just something you felt hadn't been done yet, or like, why did you choose kids?
Well, I started out listening. The first podcast I ever listened to was Serial.
Okay.
And so it was about Adnan Syed, and they were high school kids.
Yeah.
And so it kind of really, as I listened to more true crime podcasts, I wanted to hear more stories about kids and younger adults and stuff, which is like how old my kids are. I could just really relate at this time in my life, having 3 teenagers right now. I can just kind of relate to this stuff. And a lot of the cases I've done were things that actually occurred way back when I was first pregnant or first having my children.
Are you way nicer to your kids now? Are you way nicer to the kids now? You're like, oh yeah, you can have a pony.
And then are terrified of them.
You're just hiding in your room.
Well, it's crazy because my son is gigantic.
Is he? Wow.
So he's huge. He's 17. He can carry me around, things like that. But none of my kids really seem to have anger issues. And I've noticed that's something that most of these kids have in common,
Or abuse, like definitely some abuse along the way, like some severe one. Like I heard your recent one, and the kid was really big, like, and he had a lot of, I think, psychological abuse growing up, they said. And
also, one where he killed his mom with the frying pan?
Yes, and it was also he was bipolar, they said.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about that is that happened here where I live.
Wow.
The last episode I did, both of those cases about moms were here local to me. So
it was recent too. That story was 2013, right?
Yeah, 2013. Yeah, in the very same city I live in, and around the same. He's the same age as my oldest daughter. Now they're 19. So
wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy. I remember when that happened, and so it was just like a couple miles away, So yeah.
Did they ever go into details about the abuse? I don't think you had that in the show, but do you know what actually went down?
They didn't. They did not really at all, because he didn't present that as part of his defense.
Oh.
It was just something that his grandmother had mentioned, and it's something that his defense attorney and his defense team knew about that, but they didn't present it in his defense, and she mentioned it when she was able to give a statement when he was about to be sentenced.
You said she pled with the judge to like either reduce it or cut some leniency because of those.
Like there was other things going on here. You know,
especially a kid like
without her flat out saying my daughter was a terrible person.
Yeah, yes.
You
think there was feelings of like people thinking like, yeah, she deserved it?
I don't know.
Not really. And because these cases come and go from the news so quickly. And the more that I remember them and think of the ones that really impacted me when they happened, there's very little news coverage. Most of these cases, it's pretty hard to even find. I mean, I spend a lot of my time on some of these cases going through like newspaper archives, from the newspapers of where these things happened at, because they don't really get national news coverage and stuff. But no, I think in the media, they are, unless there's documented things with like child protective services, or the police had often been called and there was problems at school. If there's not any glaring problems, they don't really try to place blame. I think most blame gets put on the children. And that's another thing that I try not to do, because in most of these cases, I've noticed that, of course, it's their fault, but most of the time parents could have been a little bit more attentive, perhaps.
Or looked for certain
I don't
things.
like to be, disrespectful.
You notice a pattern of bad parenting.
Yeah.
In hindsight.
Yeah.
Yes, in hindsight, looking at it from a third perspective, an outside perspective looking in, you can see. But as a parent, I also know that, my life is a freaking mess too. Like, it's hard to really focus.
So many things to focus on. Yes.
It depends on what that parent is also going through. If they have a troubled life, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to really focus in on what they need to do for their kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why everyone else, who comes in contact with children needs to pay attention, whether it's their kids or not,
It was crazy, though. I think I heard that he was telling neighbors, I don't know if he had killed her at the point where he's like, she left, she went to another state, and I got the house now and stuff. Like, he was acting a little weird.
It was that very day. He got in quite a bit of trouble at school. And I think
it was over that he got grounded, right? Sorry, War Baby. Sorry to speak over you.
Yeah.
But it was just that he got grounded is why that he did it. Oh, wow. Yeah, so don't ground your kids.
He got grounded for doing some pretty messed up things at school.
Oh, okay.
Like
so
sociopathic
this is like
things?
the culmination of a bunch of bad decisions.
Yeah.
He forged some paperwork.
Oh.
He forged some paperwork to get free lunch, which is like a federal document, And he wanted to, now I don't really know the backstory behind this, but he really wanted to be the teacher's aide for one of his female teachers.
I did
She
hear
told
that.
him, you need to go to your counselor, and your counselor needs to write me a letter saying that they recommend you. And he he wrote the whole letter and forged the signature, and so he was on the cusp of being in some pretty big trouble.
Yeah.
And for a 15, 16-year-old, it's really hard to differentiate between the consequences of being bad at school and, maybe killing your mom.
It was like the next step.
Evidently, it is difficult to make that differentiation.
He waited too.
Children kind of see it as, I'm in trouble here, I'm going to be in trouble there. What's the difference?
Right? Yeah. No, he waited too for the stepfather to come home and try to assault him.
Yeah.
Correct? But the guy got away, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. That 911 call was just terrible because he didn't know that his wife was dead.
Oh.
And the whole time he was assuming she was asleep in bed,
Wow.
Oh,
yeah, he called saying the
So-
kid attacked him, and wow.
Yeah, he was a big kid, but a frying pan, who plans a murder and chooses that to be one of their weapons? Only a kid.
Had
would do that.
his best friend watching, too.
Because it sounds like a cartoon type of thing.
Had a best friend watching, right? That helped him, drag the mom to the shed and stuff.
Oh, fuck.
The amount of participation that his friend Christian had, it was still up in the air. But yeah, he was definitely there, and he didn't do anything to stop him, and he most certainly didn't report it after it happened.
Is the friend in jail?
The friend didn't get any jail time.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
So
But
the friend, it was determined he didn't actually touch the body or participate in the murder.
Okay. But he got charged as an adult, though, the one that did it, right?
Yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure he got 30 years, I think. I think he got 30 years.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so and it's only been about, 5. So got quite a ways to go, and he's just going to get bigger and angrier.
Yeah.
So, so we'll see what happens.
Wait till, what year is that? 2032? When is he getting out? I don't know.
Oh yeah, something crazy like that, 2035 or something crazy like that, and he's gonna just be a giant angry monster.
So
He's gonna be what was it? Michael Myers.
Michael, yeah.
That's what we're getting. A new Halloween movie.
That's what happens. I wish we sent all juveniles to juvenile detention until they turned 18, and then they can be, sentenced as adults.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure he's not getting the treatment he needs there, correct? Like, is that...
Oh, no, it's scary. And it's also scary to think that he'll be released back into my community where I live. You know what I mean?
Shit. You got to get out of there, baby.
Not somewhere. I'll be retired by a beach somewhere by then. I'm not worried about it. But the case that I have coming up is seriously the scariest case that I've done so far, and I've been kind of putting it off. But I think everyone's I think they're ready for it. I think the listeners are ready.
Can you tell us what it is?
Or give us like a hint? Ooh.
No, I'll tell you what it is. Back in 2010, there was a 14-year-old freshman in high school who followed his teacher into the bathroom, raped and murdered her in the bathroom at school. And then he proceeded to go downstairs outside and get one of those rolling recycle bins and rolled it all the way back up to the second floor bathroom and put her in there and rolled it all the way through the school and through the parking lot to the woods behind the school, and nobody noticed.
How long did it take?
But there was 144 security cameras in this school, so his every move except the actual crimes are caught on tape.
Oh, they are? Okay. I didn't know if you were going to say he figured out how to not get seen or something. Wow.
Oh, you see every second of his actions except the actual murder that takes place within the bathroom. But this is literally 30 minutes after school got out.
And you've seen the footage.
Is he just walking by people with
with the stuff? With the
craziest...
The recycle
bin?
The
crazy part is there's not, the halls empty out. They seem to empty out really fast. He does encounter... I would say a handful of people, maybe 5 people during this hour and a half that this takes him. And he leaves the school and goes to the woods and comes back multiple times. One of the times he comes back, he's not wearing shoes and his pants are covered in blood. So, yeah, he commits this entire crime within the confines of his high school, which is right outside Boston. It's around Salem, Massachusetts, this happened. And, yeah, so that happened within the school.
And nobody fucking noticed.
This is going to be the third case that involves one of those rolling trash bins. I don't know.
Wow.
If that's going to become a new epidemic,
right?
Or...
And nobody did anything about the bloody pants he was wearing, and what?
Or
he
question.
He was able to see. Here's the thing: when he goes to trial, he tries to say that they tried to use this what I call a trigger word defense. His teacher said something that upset him, and supposedly that's why he flew into this rage. Which sounds okay, except that in his backpack, he pretty much had a kill kit.
So he had it planned.
He had a box cutter. Oh yeah, he had a box cutter. He had gloves. He had a mask and changes of clothes. So he was prepared for this.
Yeah, he was looking for any reason to do that. If he had that on him.
It might not have been her. She's just the unlucky person, that he was able to get by herself. But so they do arrest him later that night. They put 2 and 2 together because he uses her credit cards and things. But 6 months later, when he's in juvenile detention, he tries to perpetrate an almost completely identical crime, and he stalks one of the juvenile detention workers into the bathroom area and corners her up against the wall, and he actually is able to strangle her and stuff, but somebody does break them up before he actually kills her. So he's still awaiting trial and sentencing for that attempted murder.
And he's racking him up.
We won't be seeing him anytime soon.
Wow. That's where you have to to put somebody to sleep. That guy has to be erased.
That's what I was gonna say. If you are the guy that found that kid trying to do that crime again, you just kill him.
Yeah.
And you just say, I didn't mean to kill him. I didn't mean to kill him. It just happened. It was an accident.
Oh God, what a
14 years old.
Wow.
When I was 14, no, I still played the saxophone. Like, what's up, people?
I was reading Jurassic Park and haven't even jerked off yet. I think
I was playing Super Nintendo games.
Much plan to rape.
Yeah, no, that never. I don't even think I kissed somebody yet, or a girl. Like, I don't know.
No.
Wow. What the fuck? Wow.
I know.
Holy shit.
I do have another good story for you if you're ready for it.
I don't know. I need a little bit of time after that one.
Slim needs a break. Yeah, no, that is a fucking wild one. Holy shit.
Well, I'm curious about that one. Did you look into, was there any, going back to, like, was there any abuse?
Abuse or anything, or?
I mean, this kid's biggest issue is that he came from, I would say, like a volatile home life. His mom was Brazilian, and, so you have, like, cultural things, there.
Okay.
But she and his father, they didn't have a great relationship, and they were back and forth, and they ended up getting divorced, and she moved them from the Nashville area, from Tennessee, up to the Boston area. And really, the transition was not good for him, and he didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And he really spiraled out after that.
There's still no excuse
really
or reasoning, though. Like, that can even condone what the fuck that motherfucker did. Holy shit.
Yeah, there's nothing that could even begin to explain it.
No.
Other than sometimes people are just a psychopath.
Yes,
so,
that's what I'm saying. You gotta just get rid of that one.
Before he became a serial killer.
This is just a bad egg. Yes.
That's why I asked if there was abuse, because it kind of curious, like, what drives, especially a 14-year-old kid, like, what the fuck drives you to do that?
Fuck.
I
was just thinking about watching.
There was really no evidence
whatever
of
cartoon
anything like that.
Wow. What was the other story?
The worst thing that seemed to happen to him was that his parents got divorced, and he had to move.
That's
my parents divorced when I was like 4.
not belittling it, but doesn't a lot of marriages end in divorce? Like, I think it's like 4 out of 5 kind of thing. Like, I mean, it happens.
Yeah, thank goodness
that
they don't all turn into killers.
But no, it is. It's a shitty thing, and it's a lot, especially for a kid to deal with. I think, but still, it doesn't have to go there. It doesn't have to go there. What was the other story, War Baby?
Well, the last story that I had for you guys, now this is going on right now. This girl, she's 17. She was actually just arraigned today on first-degree murder charges. But 2 weeks ago, she chased around one of her classmates in econ class. They're in class, the bell rings, and they're about to change classes. 17-year-old Tanaya Lewis, she pulls out a steak knife that she brought from home and proceeds to chase 16-year-old Dana Gibson around the classroom, screaming that she's going to kill her.
Wow.
And then she actually stabbed her to death in their classroom.
I don't know. Did I tell you last time you called that happened in my high school?
Boy.
Wow. I don't know. Did I tell you last time it happened in my high school? This girl was trying to date this dude, and he's just like, no, and I guess she wouldn't stop. And finally he was like, look, no, you're ugly. I don't want to go out with you. And she stabbed him with a steak knife. His intestines were coming out of his, side and everything.
Yeah, man, it doesn't matter what year it is. There's killer kids everywhere.
Did she, hold on, Rob, the one you just talked about, did she, get rejected and just happen to have a steak knife with her?
Took it from home ec class.
So she was ready for the rejection. She was like, if this motherfucker says no, I'm going to kill him.
I don't know if it happened right then. I think she did it after. I think he did it, and then, because it was after school one day, she went to him in the parking lot, and I was driving through with my buddy Rich. We just got out of school, and we were going to the deli to get some steak fries, and this guy's walking, limping across the parking lot, holding himself. And we're my friend Rich, honked the horn, get out of the way. What's taking you so long? And then we realized his intestines are hanging out. Fuck.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, thank God he survived.
He did. He survived, yes. But, yeah, that's crazy.
And she wonders why nobody wants to date her. That's probably going to be the last time any guy ever even gets near.
No, War Baby, with the one you just told us, there was nobody in the classroom that stopped this? The teacher doesn't...
Oh,
class?
It had to be right at the end of class.
Was full of students.
Were they terrified?
The teacher was there.
Nobody tried stopping it?
You said there was no teacher there?
The whole class was full and the teacher was there. She waited till the bell rang and everyone stood up. So it was pretty confusing. You know, she just went and lunged and went directly after the student she wanted, but she was smiling and laughing the whole time,
Did she,
like maniacally, while she chased her with this knife.
She killed the other girl?
And she did. She stabbed her in the heart, and she eventually stabbed her in the back. And then the teacher was finally able to push her out into the hallway, but I mean, you don't really want to push her out there. You know, there's even more students out there now.
Yeah.
And but they weren't able, they weren't able to save the other student, and it was all over a boy. Wow. And they were both honor students. They were straight A honor students who actually had been friends.
Wow.
But when the boyfriend broke up with the first girl and then started going out with the victim, and pretty much that's when that relationship between the two girls soured. And
do you think he's still?
She's being held without bond.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think he's still dating her, or you got to go away from that one? She's crazy.
Yeah, as a kid though, I don't know. Like you might be, I love you. It's okay. Like
right? Yeah. Like, oh, I love that you did that for me, baby. Right. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, imagine how that poor idiot feels. Because he didn't break up with her in like a nice way.
That's the equivalent.
It was a situation like your steak knife story. You're ugly. I don't want to do. You're stupid or whatever. Get away from me.
That's the equivalent of bitches will get yous, like, for girls. Like, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm just going to put the call out right now. Let's just stop having kids. Because they're seriously getting crazier.
I'm trying to get it slim chemically castrated. Right. Like, I want to end it. I want to end it right now.
So I'm curious then, if, like... All joking aside, what do you think is the solution?
Oh, there's no solution. I mean, that's like trying to do something about adult crime. I mean,
yes,
rage is rage.
Yeah.
You treat people, the wrong way, and people will snap on you just like animals.
Yes.
There's really nothing you can do. I really don't think that there is.
Yeah.
Now, this school... They don't have metal detectors, so I'm assuming that their next step will probably be to put in metal detectors.
My high school got them right after that thing. Yeah, so yeah, that will be probably a guard or officer or two. Like will be at the entrances and all. Yeah,
at least for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, to keep out the steak knives until somebody brings a stick of dynamite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or drives a car into a building like this. You can't stop it. People
you can't
get
stop
angry.
Crazy.
You cannot. You can't stop rage. Either. Sometimes rage just overtakes people. And
sometimes it just hits you though, like
blinding.
As just a regular person. Sometimes rage just gets you. Like you might not kill somebody, but it does. Sometimes you get enraged for a reason, like and it just happens.
Want to.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. You totally could. You totally could.
Yeah, there's just that line that people try not to cross.
That's the thing,
Kids,
too.
People have an easier time crossing it.
Yes, yeah, they just don't have what adults have. One of my buddies said that, too. Yeah, everybody's just, basically one moment away from that kind of a thing, doing that kind of a thing. Like
completely exploding.
Yeah.
And as adults, we're supposed to learn to be able to control that,
yes.
But it's not really possible. I mean... Humans are complicated. You can't really stop anything from happening because as long as somebody wants to do it, they'll find a way, regardless of what age they are. I wish there was a way to stop these kinds of things, but the only thing that I like to suggest to people is really just to pay attention to the children that because in hindsight, there's often something that people see that maybe they think now they should have probably paid more attention to.
Yeah. We're baby, we have to wrap this up.
Aunt
I'm sorry.
Was laying there and he did a circle of knives around her when he was 3 years old. They probably should have paid more attention to that.
Yeah, that should have been an alert right there.
But it was a different time, right?
Yeah, that was back then. It was all right.
The old days.
We're baby, we have to wrap this up. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that flew by. Holy shit.
All right, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
It's great talking to you. Where can everybody find you in your show?
You can find me. I'm everywhere on iHeartRadio, Spotify, of course, iTunes. And you can find me on social media at Killer Kids Pod. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. Pretty much everywhere you look, I'm there.
Awesome.
I do have one question before we let you go, because I'm just curious. So, when you decided to do this topic, did you expect to get as much mileage out of it as you did? Like, did it surprise you that there's so many of these cases?
You know, it didn't really surprise me because I started to, after hearing Serial, I started to look for more cases that were similar, and I really couldn't find anything. So I figured if I was looking for them, then other people would be looking for them too. And I've gotten a couple cases from listeners who are involved in some way and wanted to see if anyone had done a story about them. So about, the case that was close to them. So I've done quite a few stories that way. And it's like, I don't know if I'll ever speak to actual killer kids or even their family members.
That's what I was going to ask. That was one of the questions I had. If you would ever interview one of the killers if you had the chance.
Well, I mean, if they contact me, but I'm not really sure how to broach that subject, like in an email.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I heard your son killed your husband.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know if you wanted to chit-chat, about that.
You want to talk about it?
Just want to yuck it up. Yeah, no.
All right.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Thank you, War Baby.
Somebody will call me someday, though.
All right, War Baby. It was great talking to you.
All right, guys. Take it easy. I'll talk to you again soon.
Absolutely.